Hello and welcome to a sunny Ohrid in North Macedonia. It's lunchtime on Easter Saturday. It's a nice sunny day. We have had a couple of overcast days since we arrived, but yesterday and today's turned out nice and sunny. So I thought we'd take a stroll down the main street, along the edge of the lake, through the old town, and down a nice boardwalk again on the edge of the lake. So this is the main street with the shops on. It's quite a big town. There are quite a few other streets with shops on, but this seems to be the focal point. When we first arrived, we weren't too sure about this town, but the route into town was through the not the nicest of buildings and places, but luckily we didn't just turn around and head away, because the main part here and down by the lake is really very nice. So we're probably going to hang around here for a little while. The town's got noticeably busier the last couple of days. Yesterday was Good Friday, and it was noticeably busier than the day before. Lots of shops and cafes and restaurants and so on down this street. There are a large amount of clothes shops, fashion shops, all with lots of designer brands in them. We're not totally convinced that they're all legitimate. So if they are, we might be missing out on a bargain, but we're a bit reluctant to buy any because we're not sure that they're genuine. Cafe to our right, gelato counter, another gelato place to the left. So it's a really nice little street. So we don't know too much about North Macedonia or Ohrid. That's how we believe it's pronounced, not Ohrid. We're basically here taking a little break out of the Schengen zone. It's a little bit off the beaten track normally for British tourists, I think, but it's definitely well worth coming here. I believe it's a very old town with roots going back to BC. It's supposedly also one of the oldest lakes in Europe. Well, we understand that the lake is actually made from freshwater springs, and that it's not actually fed by rivers. And I can vouch for the fact that the water is not only crystal clear, but it's very cold. I also understand that Ohrid is at about 900 metres above sea level, which could explain why even on a nice sunny day like today, it's the temperature is very manageable. There's a nice cool chill to the air, even though you have the nice warm direct sunlight on you. So that was the main shopping street from what we can see, and we're just getting down towards the lake now, and it's mostly restaurants and bars by the lake. Also, there are lots of boating trips out onto the lake, some that just take you to little villages and places of interest around the lake. You can take a whole, I think it's about a 6-hour trip to do all of them and do a whole tour of the lake. And there's also a champagne sunset trip that we'll probably go on before we leave, where you go out late in the evening and watch the sunset over the lake and over the mountains, and a glass of champagne thrown in. You'll see I've got Alison with me today, so that I don't look like a mad Englishman walking down the street talking to himself. So here we are down at the water's edge. So there's lots of boat trips going from here. We'll no doubt get approached by somebody wanting to sell us a ticket on one. There's also a boat there, the Armada, that has a bar on it. I think it still sails, doesn't it? I don't think it's moored there all the time. Sunset trips, yeah. So in front of us here are all the pontoon boats doing the trips around the lake. And that's over on the North Macedonian side, and down the lake in that direction there to the bottom right hand corner of the lake, that's part of Albania. Some snow-capped mountains in the distance. There's noticeably less snow on them than even 4 days ago when we arrived. I couldn't believe how much snow there was still on the hills. The temperature gauge was saying like in the 20s, wasn't it, down here? Yeah. So there's the old town with a castle and some churches. I believe it was renowned for having lots of churches in the town. And over in the distance there's the boardwalk, which we're going to go a wander down. So we'll head off round. So far we've found everybody to be really friendly, and the place has got a really nice, relaxed atmosphere. We can't understand a word they're saying hardly. There really is nothing in any of the languages we know that's remotely familiar. I think just about the only thing we have learnt is that "nie" means yes, "nay" means yes. There we go. Maybe we should learn a little bit more while we're here. Yeah, we went in there on our first day, didn't we? It was very nice. Lots of nice bars, restaurants, places to sit, have a drink, watch the world go by. It's definitely a lot busier than 2 days ago.
Vabbè, se questo lo sua
Vai Simona.
Pogledala bi neku tesku.
So here we are, just walking through the old town. Ohrid is famous for its pearls. I don't know too much about it, but from what I understand, it's actually a coating that's put on the pearls that gives them a different colour. I believe the secret to the coating was bought here many years ago, and two families know how it's done, and that tradition's maintained right through till present day. Is that the official shop? The Ohrid Pearl Shop. Original Pearl Shop. There you go. As I say, there's a nice relaxed atmosphere here. Everybody just taking a stroll. Lots of places to eat, drink, people watch, just generally relax and watch the world go by. Up there. I don't know anything about that church. I know that's the famous one, Church St. Sophia. It looks very old, very, very old.
Y esta es la pendes. Hola.
The old town's really quite big. We're only going to see a fraction of it, but we're just going to take a left down here and go to the boardwalk.
Mami, a niña podumi.
A je druhá strana toho prečo?
Da se kači.
Mind the gap. Some of these planks are a bit spongy.
Something will be cold in.
Yeah. Yes, when we first arrived in Ohrid, we came through an area that it wasn't the best. It looks like it was nice at some point in the past, but had been left neglected and not very well maintained, and there's places that we saw that were abandoned, restaurants and a campsite just upped and abandoned, and we thought, oh, what have we come to? But it's turned out to be a nice place, hasn't it?
I mean, you know.
I think we're going to
We have to give places time.
do.
Don't acclimatise.
Yeah, don't jump to a conclusion about somewhere too quickly. Give it time.
Adjust.
Yeah. Well, it's lunchtime on a Saturday. It could be standing room only at the bars. It's quite possible.
Ela сега тој Синко бараше плажа со песок.
I can't understand a single word they're saying. When you're in France or Spain, there's the odd words, you know. You pick them up and you know what they're talking about, but here, nay, that's the only one I know. We need to learn some more. If we're going to be here a little while, we need to learn some more. So there you go. That's a little stroll through Ohrid. I don't know how far this path goes. I don't think we've been any further than that first bar, have we? Okay, let's keep going, see what we find. Up there? Does it look like up there? Yeah, there's no boardwalk here. This looks all private along here. Let's go and stand on here, see what we can see. Let's hope we don't fall through. There we go. No. I think the rest of the path just leads to private properties and there may be the odd restaurant. Who knows? Let's go and have a look. This bit might get edited out, who knows? Oh, down there, do you think? Or not? No lizards or snakes today. We've lots of lizards about, and we did see one snake. Well, I don't know if we should have gone down there or if we were going into somebody's garden going down there.
Chi era Vangeloff?
I understood that.
Pericoloso. Appunto. La fischia passare.
Italian. Well, it seems popular, so let's hope there's something at the end of it. Oh, I can see a sign for a nude beach. You better not go there. I think that'll get us banned on YouTube.
No, there's another way, we just not going there.
We'll be typically British and drive on the left. And there's something. We could. I imagine he would. There we go. It's a nice spot. Another church up on the hill there. Yeah, we didn't come this far, did we? The van is parked around the other side of the headland. Maybe we can get all the way through. There we go. So that is the town of Ohrid on Lake Ohrid in North Macedonia. Thanks for watching.